If you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, it's the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Let me explain. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally free. Now download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Now you're tuned in to Uncomfortable In-House Conversations with HB, the podcast.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Uncomfortable In-House Conversations with HB. Again, I want to apologize. I took a brief mental break, but I'm back. And for anyone, I just did an episode. It was episode 10. It will be published tomorrow. Go ahead and listen to that. That was more, I'm talking about the relationships and the things that's going on with us as parents and the kids today, and how it works, and your thought process. Briefly, I want to just talk about, and I want to get your feedback before I go in and have this, because I want your feedback, and I want to see if I can either get somebody on live or I can get somebody to come in as a guest. And this topic here is going to be a touchy one. I know people don't like to use that word, but I want to, it's called, does submission come with conditions? As we live in a time of day, a lot of people, couples, and, just single people, they talk about, women being in their feminine energy and being just submissive. And I don't know why it seems like a curse word, because submission is not just for women. Men submit too, just in different ways. But really quickly, before I get into it, and just hope people come in, and I want to have a conversation. I want to give a brief moment of silence, and I want to just give my condolences to a childhood friend, really good dude, just passed away, Major Parker. Again, it's unfortunate. It just shows that every day is not promised. So, live your life relentless, do it in a respectful way, leave a legacy. And just try to try to be in good people and move with good intentions. Again, when I first started this podcast, I had no other intention of this. Was for me, it was therapy. Just speaking my truth and going through my own maturation process. And I want to thank all who are here. Even if it was one person, didn't matter to me. This was just me, doing the work and working through the process and working through the process. With that being said, like I said, I want to be able to have a conversation, and I want to know your thoughts, men and women, when it comes to submission. Also, too, I'm going to use the word, you're going to hear me say it a lot, context matters. A lot of people, we live in the world today, people jump in things, and you ain't qualified to be given an opinion yet. Whether it's being, you still have traumas that you need to heal, so you're not being in your true self to be able to have this real adult conversation without being biased. Also, too, you might not be in a position to, or might not have a man to be submissive to. and that's fine. Um, these things can all be true, and again, it's not for you to be submitting to everybody. You submit to the person that you deem that's going to be your person, that you are trying to see a future with. Y'all work hand in hand. Um, One of the topics that I wanted to talk about when we talk about submission at this time, I think I can talk about it briefly, was The Woman King, the movie The Woman King. At first, I didn't want to see it. I was kind of biased about it because I didn't like the topic. But once I looked into it and I watched the movie, I really understood where it came from, and it was really, really good movie. If you haven't seen it, please go see it. And the whole point of that was just basically that. It was submission. And it wasn't like a husband and wife, but in order for her to become the woman king, the king himself had to crown her that. And she had to show that not only was she loyal, but she was able to submit to things even when it was uncomfortable. I remember, again, I grew up, both my parents. I listened to, one time my mom was having a conversation with one of my cousins, and she was upset. Just got married, and she was upset, and I was young, and she was having a conversation, and she was like really, really, really upset, and she was like, he don't listen, blah blah blah, and we about to be broke, and he's stupid, and my mom told her, that's your husband, you picked him, well, soon to be your husband or whatever, but you picked him, and that you have to have his back. And she says, one of the things that you're going to have to understand as a woman in order for you to have a functioning marriage or relationship is your husband is the leader. He's the head. Before him, there's God. Under that, then there's you. Now, that does not mean that your input don't matter. But what it means is sometimes, even when your husband is making the decision and you might know for a fact that it's wrong and it's not going to go, you have to follow him. And I didn't understand then. I understand now. She was arguing and she was like, that doesn't make sense. It's stupid. She says, it makes sense because what happens is whatever happens and it doesn't go right, you don't go to your husband and say, I told you so. What you have shown him is that no matter what, even when you gave your advice and he still went that way, he feels comfortable and he feels in a safe place where the next time something arises, comes up, he's going to most likely take your advice. And that's kind of like a give and take thing. And also too, that's a way of him submitting and understanding that, and a lot of times, when men, we make decisions, it has nothing to do with you. We're looking at y'all or like y'all less or smarter. It's just for us, we want, how can I say this? So also too in a relationship, ladies, this is a jewel. One of the things that you want to know when you're in a relationship, and if a man really cares or he wants something with you, you don't have to ask. He wants to do everything to make sure you know that he got you. So he feels that it's his job and it's his responsibility to move in a way to make these decisions. And a lot of times, I understand even for myself now that I'm grown. It's a lot of things my dad, he sacrificed, he had to deal with. He didn't get credit for. I don't get credit for. Moms get credit for everything. Dads get that's what you're supposed to. Grandparents, my grandfather, same thing. That's what they look. And it's not that we look at them like that. It's just, it's what it is. But that's why we hold that badge of honor. When it comes to having a man, his first instinct is to be protective in every which way. Mental, emotional, physical, everything is to be able to protect you. I understand, ladies, that we live in a time of day that you don't feel protected. And some of it is our fault. Some of it is not. I think also, too, we living in a time, I want people to stop blaming. Like, everybody want to be right. Who want to be happy? You want to be happy or you want to be right? Everybody want to be, well, I did this and he don't do this and y'all Negroes don't do this and blah, blah, blah. Okay. Ladies, give us some advice. Most of us, and I'm not saying that y'all do, because we also understand that living in the time of day that you don't necessarily have to be married. But for the majority of the women that want to be married, here's the thing. You have to understand that in order for you to be married, we have to ask you. And this goes for ultimately, like I hear a lot of the debates, I really don't get into it, but I hear a lot of stuff about what women bring to the table, what men bring to the table, and da-da-da-da. And here's the thing. Men, we accept you for who you are, where you at that time. The first thing what a woman says is, "Which I have this, I have that, I make this much money." After everything, when it comes down to y'all, is mostly financial. The problem is, y'all never asked us what we want. Most men don't care about how much you make. I'm going to say this, most men, we don't care about how much you make. It doesn't matter. What we want to know is, can you bring me peace? Can you calm me down in the times when I'm frustrated, when I'm going through things? We don't care about how much you make, all that's irrelevant, because as a man, you're going to make money, you're going to lose money. And truth of the matter is, that's another stupid thing that I don't like, because growing up now, our parents and our parents' had where they had jobs and they was working jobs 10, 20, 30 years at the same job, so they had job security. We don't got that now. Need people to understand that. So reality is, at one point, your husband could be paying all the bills. He could be making as much money, and tomorrow he can lose his job. Is he less of a man because he loses his job? He ain't making no money? No, he's not. He's still the same man you married, and you still should respect him as such. Everything that I see people today, they constitute on, oh, a man got to be paying all the bills. Here's the fact of the matter. When you're married, ain't nobody paying all the bills. I don't care if a man say he do pay all the bills. If I pay the mortgage, pay the car note, she paying the light bill, water bill, she might be paying the the kids' daycare, whatever. It all equals the same. It's all half. Your money is my money is your money. It's the most stupid and ridiculous conversation that I hear and I see people have. And again, I'm sorry, ladies, that most of the time come from y'all. And come from most of the women that is single. And here's the thing, and here's the hypocrisy that I'm gonna bring up. So, a lot of women say, oh, I don't mess with no broke nigga, I don't mess with, in order for me to have a man, he gotta have this, he gotta have that, da, 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 da. here's what y'all got to understand. Us as men. We hear all of that. We hear where you at right now. You might have a nice car. You might be doing this. You balling. We see your baby daddy. Or you might be like, oh, I ain't messing with no nigga, but you fucking somebody. And the truth of the matter, probably the person you fucking, he's not making that money. So, again, for us, single men, we're looking at it as far as, okay, you telling me I gotta have this, and all that, but, and again, I'm having a Kevin Samuels moment, and it's not to denigrate or to put women down. I just want to, just deal in reality. Because the funny part is we have to hear it, and it is. We as men, we have to hear it all the time from women. We hear he don't make this much, he broke, he got this many kids, he this. We have to take all that. The moment we say, well, why do I have to do all that when, again, nothing against women that have kids, because at this point we all got kids, but if we're matching energies and we say, okay, you got 4 kids, so you got 3 kids, but you want me to do this, and this, and that. Baby girl, I ain't got to do that. Why I got to do that? I don't have to do anything. I can find 2 and 3 other chicks that have less or none at all. I just want people just to deal in reality and just have these conversations. Because it's not about right or wrong. It's really about having a clear understanding of who you are and where you at this time in your life. Ladies, a lot of y'all get caught up on potential. Sorry. Potential means absolutely nothing. And I wish we can kind of throw that word away. You can only deal or think about somebody talking about potential if they see the potential in themselves and they want to move in that direction. Then that's when you step in and you say, baby, this is what you want to do. I'm going to help you. I got you. But don't be volunteering some shit and he didn't tell you that's what he wanted to do. We already have a mama. Stop trying to be our mama. Please, stop trying to be our mama. Listen. Sometimes if you just stop doing this and just listen, he'll tell you his intentions. He'll show you his intentions. And you have to stop trying to make him be somebody he's not. A lot of women, y'all go into relationships and you become angry, hurt, and bitter. And you say, I did this and I put all this and And y'all have to understand, we don't make we don't make exceptions. If it's some shit we don't like, we won't do it. Y'all do. Y'all make a lot of exceptions. You put up a lot of things with the expectation of him seeing your worth in what you're doing and hoping that he change. He is who he is. Right now, however he moves, whatever he says, whatever he does, this is who he is right now. Don't go about what he planned on or what it looked like or what you see in him later. This is who he is right now. And you have to ask yourself. I was having a conversation with a young lady last week, and it's funny. So she was explaining to me about her child's father. And she said that she wanted to, her issue is she wants to buy a house. They want to buy his house. This is what she said. They want to buy a house. She says, but the problem is he's a tattoo artist and he hardly goes to work and he's not helping contribute to bills. And she's like, I'm trying to save by the house and he's not helping. And, we have a daughter and he has a daughter and it's frustrating. So I asked her, what is it that you want? So she was like, I want a family. I want our family. Like, I grew up with a single mother, and I promised myself that I wasn't going to do that. And he says he wants the same thing. So I had to kindly explain to her, with me, we're dumb. And a lot of times we don't like to argue, we don't like confrontation. And we hate to question why. So I told her, here's the thing. This is where you at right now. Because, I'm sorry, context matters. So he explained to her, he said, because I asked her, I said, okay, a tattoo artist would like where he can't find a job, he can't find a place. She says, no. She said, he told her right now, by her always asking him about job and money and bills, it's stifling his creativity. Now in the back of my mind, I was like, bitch, you crazy as hell. But I didn't say nothing. I just listened to her. And she said, and it's frustrating because he's such a great tattoo artist. And I just see all this potential in him. But it's like right now, I don't know what to do. I'm trying to explain to him that I get it. Right now, you're in a funk, but we have bills to pay. And he's telling her, like, right now, man, stop stressing me. So she's like, well, what do I do? I said, well, first of all, you have to live in reality. You keep saying y'all trying to buy a house. Y'all not trying to buy a house. You want to buy a house. And she was like, well, that's not true. He says he'll move in. Of course he will move in. He ain't got no bills now. Of course he'll move in. I don't have a problem with that. The issue is you want him to be somebody he's not. And I said, so let me give it to you like this. I said, because, some years ago, I used to tell women, you dumb, you stupid. I don't do that no more. What I do is just provide them with the information that they give me. So I said, so here's the situation. If you want a family with him, because I don't doubt he don't love you, and I don't doubt he does not want to be with you. I believe he wants to be with you with all his heart. The problem is, this is what you have to do. Dealing with him, this is what's going to happen. You have to understand that in his mind, he's an artist. So most people that they feel like they're artists, again, they are. That's how they feel like, hey, look, right now, I need some kind of creativity and it's not making it. But when you 30 plus years old, you don't get to do that shit. You're not 18 years old. So reality is you need to work through that shit. Whatever you need to do, go to another tattoo, blah, 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 blah. I said, he wants you to take care of everything. And she says, well, that's not true. I said, what has he shown you? You've told me he just want to get his kid. And a lot of times, as soon as you go home, he don't want to clean up the house. He don't want to do nothing. And again, I'm not here to judge, but I want you to understand, in order for you to get what you want out of this relationship, you have to accept that you're going to be taking care of him. You're going to be paying most of the bills, and you are going to be able to do that until he, get his feng shui and start back. And yeah, he's probably going to pay some bills, but the majority of the time, the bills are going to be on you. And if you cool with that, go ahead. But don't go into this thinking that it's going to be something else. He's not going to grow up. He's not going to say, okay, all of a sudden I'm going to change. I'm just going to get it. No, he's showing you who he is. And that's who he is right now. And I said, and again, for me, it's not past judgment. If having a family is that important to you that you're willing to do that, by all means. That's number one. Number two, shut your damn mouth. Nobody needs to know. Because a lot of the issues with a lot of women, you talk too much. If you cool and y'all cool, you ain't trying to rock the boat, and he a stay-at-home dad, or he ain't working to take care of him, shut up. Nobody needs. Only time people know is if you tell. But I just want her just to, live in reality. And again, there's nothing wrong with co-parenting. Again, a lot of women, and this the hypocrisy of it. I say this all the time. The problem is women want what they want. You know how many times I done dated women, and I say, look, this is the situation. Right now I'm going through blah, blah, blah. I'm not ready to settle down, but I care about you. Give me some time, blah, blah, blah. Everybody cool. Everybody don't have a problem. After a while, nah, I feel like I'm wasting my time. Okay. No, and it seems like you don't care. It's not, I don't care. I have to respect. You feel like you're wasting your time with me. Well, no, because, I'm here, I'm doing all these things, and I'm trying to get you to see that I can really be here for you, and I can do da-da-da-da. Ma'am, the position that I'm hiring for, is not what you are qualified for. As a matter of fact, you might be overqualified for the position that I want right now. Only position I want right now is peace. I don't want you to do none of all that extra shit you're trying to do. And you won't. No. Right now I can be flaky. I might want to hang out. Might not. I don't want to have an explanation. Right now I'm figuring shit out. And I have a right to. The problem comes with, I hear you. I get all that, but I don't care. And so we go into this vicious cycle of, hey, look, I want to do this and I'm trying to be here. I'm going to stick with it. Okay, cool. Then we come right back to the same conversation that we came before when I told you this is where I am right now. But I get what you're saying, but I'm here doing all of this and I'm trying to show you. Listen, you're here because I know what you're doing. I know you have good intentions, but right now this is where I am. You can't make me speed up my process. And that happens, and then after a while they get upset, and then they feel like, okay, I wasted my time, and we go around the circle a little bit, and then they get to a point, then they get bitter, angry, and fuck you, you ain't shit, blah, blah, blah. And I've been the same person the whole time you met me. It's just that I'm not moving how you want me to move. Ladies, you have to, again, accept the person where he at that time. I getting to know it, for me especially. What I went through, I'm not the same person I used to be. I was never hurt before. And I'm not just talking in marriage, I'm talking about my mother, my grandfathers, just going through what I'm going through, even family members. So I can be honest about some things when I'm saying some things bother me. I'm insecure about some things. Shit that I used to wasn't. To be honest, I was arrogant as fuck. A lot of shit didn't bother me. But going through that, it changes you. It's kind of like a kid when you put your hand on the stove. Once you get burnt, it's like, oof, I don't want to do that no more. So, and then also too, it was people that I thought that I was cool with, that they was cool with me. Again, arrogantly, I ain't think twice about it, but going through that and then, dealing with stuff, it's like, wow, damn, it's like that. And then, and again, also too, maybe it was some things that maybe I just personally felt or bothered me because, again, I'm in a vulnerable situation. So I always tell people all the time, excuse me, it's hot. I always tell people all the time, like, Ask questions. Or before you get defensive, ask somebody, say, hey, what's good? You all right? You having a good, you having a bad day? I ain't heard from you in a while. Check in on people, man. We live in a day that mental health is serious. I just now went through a whole thing of, I had blood pressure issues. Never had that before. Being transparent. Not big on taking medication, so I was kicking and screaming, but for right now, I got to take blood pressure medication just to get my blood pressure up. But also, too, that it had nothing to do with my diet or anything. It had to do with all these traumas that I dealt with, or I didn't deal with. It just was there. So, us men, the culture I want to change, I want us to be able just to have a conversation and just speak your mind. But to do it respectfully. And also, too, again, ladies, I really do want to know your opinion. Because it seems that submission comes with, shit, what's the word? What else? Comes with, Yeah, it comes with conditions. Submission should not come with conditions. Same thing as we don't hear men saying, us stepping up as being men that you got to do this in order for me to do that. No, shit, that's who I am. And I just think, again, you ain't for everybody, because I ain't for everybody, and I'm okay with that. But again, I just hope you guys listen to it and give me your thoughts. I'm gonna have I'm gonna have some more shows. I got some topics. I hope you guys are waiting. Looking forward to one of the topics I'm gonna be having is I said on my podcast I'm gonna have a conversation with police. I think that's very important to have. Just again, like I said, in the time that we live in today, just those conversations with the police. I want to have conversations. I'm going to ask Trevor, what's good? I want to with successful married couples, and I want them to be our age groups. I want to have a conversation with them. I think it's going to be very interesting. Also, too, a little bit, I'm gonna get into this whole Kanye thing. Looking at this Kanye, I wasn't gonna address it, but for me, realizing dealing with this Kanye thing, we as Black people, we are in trouble. We are in trouble. Yeah, we really are in trouble. It's really unfortunate. Just because you can say something, that don't mean you should. Everything don't need to be said. There's something about having couth. There's something about having manners. Just how you was raised. Earlier, one of my podcasts, I was saying one of the things that I don't like that we do. When people pass away, the first thing somebody want to do, they want to be the first one to go on the live and say it. That's very tacky and disrespectful. It should be some kind of etiquette. You should wait for the family, and then you make your post. Also, too, when you see crazy stuff, like when people dying, I saw the takeoff, the Migos thing. That was sick and disrespectful. Why would y'all film that? Again, we got to have some kind of respect. And then again, going back to the whole Kanye thing, it kind of frustrates me when I listen to some of us, they were saying, well, it was only a problem when Kanye brought up about the Jews. Nobody had a problem and nobody started canceling him when he brought up the disrespect for Black people. So, again, context matters. Why would the Jewish people care about what Kanye said about black people? Black people ain't care about what Kanye said about black people. But guess what they said? We got a problem when you talk about us, in which they should. And for me, common sense ain't common. So I'm gonna get off here, and then we're gonna talk about that later. But I'm gonna say this, and I want people to think about this. You don't become a billionaire and have a moral compass. I just want to leave that with y'all for that. I'm gonna say it again. You do not become a billionaire and have a moral compass. So all of y'all who sit back and think, oh yeah, Kanye trying to show us and he's doing this, he ain't doing shit for us. Kanye is doing what Kanye has always done, and that was in the best interest of him. Stop being followers and be a leader. Thank y'all. This was just my preview. Again, comments. I'm about to get ready to start back up. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Peace.